I didn't realize I was on right now, folks. I was setting up over here on my end. Um, I don't remember clicking on go live, but I guess I did with all the click, click, click I've been doing. I'm Sunny Las Vegas. Wow, 30 seconds into it, not saying a thing. Um, I'm Sunny Las Vegas. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube. I've had some things going on, and I'm not the only one going through things. So I don't want any pity, any feeling sorry for me, or bringing up things that have happened. It's still heavy on my heart. But um, what I could take away from a loss of my family, somebody who was so close to me, is that there was a big change from her to now. I guess I'll bring it up. I said not to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up. So years ago, when I started reselling on YouTube, uh, reselling on YouTube, reselling and sharing my content here on YouTube, my grandma was kind of against me doing this. It's not something she was accustomed to, different era, different generation of how things work. And fast forward about just shy of a year ago, my grandma said, Mijo, how are you doing with YouTube? Your tia Rachel says a lot that you're doing good and you're having fun. And ya ponetes gordo, you got big and chunky. And she said nothing but good things. And it was kind of unique because my grandma's one person who was always just straightforward and stuck to her guns. But on this case with me, she was just like, keep doing it if it makes you happy. And that's one of the things that was kind of hard when I came back from Texas of putting her down to rest. It was saying, thinking to myself, like, why be, it's so hard to be down, to not be down. It's so hard not to be down on yourself when things go on and have somebody just has that voice in your ear to like keep going, and keep doing what makes you happy. And I'm really happy to have those moments with my grandma. She was really close to me, and being back over here, being away from YouTube and reselling and creating content was kind of weird, and it still is. Like even today, I was trying to record. I don't have the rhythm of it. It's like I got super rusty too fast, maybe because there's just a lot on my mind. But I do have big goals, big ambitions, and I've been on the ball for the past 2 days of wanting to do it all, as in list all my crap, clear up my space. I'm really excited about it. And one thing I talked about in the past was my storage unit and how I was only going to have it for 3 months. Well, it's probably been like 4 months now. And with that is just like, I got a letter in the mail yesterday after coming back from Texas, and they raised the price up of $25. And out of the months that I've been there, I think at least 4 times the elevator wasn't working. And I don't see how they're raising prices other than rent and things like that of people living in it. How people like that could raise prices when things aren't even helpful the way they should be and convenient 24/7 like they claim. So that is a bigger thing of the $175 that I'm throwing towards the storage unit that I've only gone in a few times to use it exactly for what it is, storage unit. But I've reached out to Jesse. If you haven't been here in Las Vegas, or if you are in here in Vegas, he's a really good guy. Him and his brother Austin run their own store across from UNLV. And I told him I have quite a bit of stuff, and he likes some of the things that I bring in. I'm not gonna say everything. He's just a nice guy. So I told him what I had, and he's just like, dude, bring it. I'll see it. If I like it, I'll buy it. And he gives fair prices too. So if you are in Vegas, I would reach out to him, probably DM him on Instagram in case you don't want to waste a trip. If things don't work out or a schedule, send him some photos and say, here, I got some stuff if you're interested, and see how he works. Because people do things differently, different times. But I wasn't going to come on today until earlier. I just felt like I need to be active and have something just fill my mind in and not be alone for once out of the past 2 weeks. My wife just went to work, and I guess I'm feeling lonely. Um, which is funny because it's, you shouldn't feel lonely. I got so much good things around me and good people here that are visiting. I appreciate you all for being here. And I may seem a little wild right now for those who are new to me, but a lot has been going on. So my mind's really packed with a lot of things, but there's a lot of great things keeping me up in spirit amongst people that are here visiting as well. So I appreciate you all. Sagan was in the channel earlier and asked, I think it was Reseller Information Network channel. They were, I think he had asked if I was in Texas, or it might have been another one. He is in the same circle of resellers, and we follow just about the same amount of people. And he asked if I was in Texas, and I meant to reply back, but I was busy trying to make some hummus out of lentil Are they beans or lentil beans, or are they seeds? I don't know what they are. So also trying to eat healthy. Big burn just came on earlier. That I got like a third-degree burn. This was how hard this was. You're all gonna laugh. So I want to go drop off an order for some jeans. I wasn't planning on going to the post office, but I had to fill up my gas truck. My gas truck. I had to fill up my truck because I'm going to be assisting some friends tomorrow, going out to Utah and coming back. So I had to fill up the truck. On the way there, I was gonna drop off an order, and then I needed some heavy cream. And then my wife said, "Hey, I need some stuff." So I was like, "All right." So I end up coming back home. I go in the park, and the USPS little van comes forward and pulls over, and you just see the silhouette of the person coming around. And I knew they're coming for me because I'm very close to my post lady Morgan, and she was like, "Damn, COVID did you good, huh?" And I just smacked my stomach with both of my hands, and I'm like, "Oh man, like I wish I could blame this on COVID, but it's not." So I just been gaining some weight. I think it's due to my meds. I take Stradalin, and it's for antidepressants and anxiety. But for me, it's more used for anxiety. I think it's like Zoloft, pretty much. So it's to help me with my brain with all that's going on in there and stuff. But it was a pretty big burn when she said COVID was doing it did me good. And then she did compliment my hair. So it kind of soothed the wound a little bit. And I just did a little bit of listening today. I wanted to do more. I've been planning to do more. I've just been distracted with things. But everybody, thank you for coming through. Kat was just on, and I almost went on when she was. And I said, hold on, let me look at the notifications. Let me see who's on today because I had no idea what today was. And Kat was on. I was like, nope, not going on the same time as Kat. And I was in there for a little bit. It's just kind of weird with the daylight like coming down. It's just now the sunlight here in Vegas is just not going down. So it's a little weird. Because usually it was the sun's down and I would be on or jump online and Cat would be on around this time. But taking Zoloft now. I'm not Zoloft, but it is Stradalin. I've been taking it for a while. They upped the dosage, and when they upped the dosage on me, I noticed my weight going up. So one of the mentions before Cat's live went off, I wasn't able to catch her name. But I really liked that she brought up Tim from over the years. He just came out with a video yesterday about why he was gone for 2 years. And has been a person I've been talking about for these 2 years that I've gotten to know him. Even before that, when I got to know him, I got to know more about Chris Cernock about hats. And these are very good people to keep up with and not just follow their content. These are people you could reach out to and say, hey, I have some glass. You have any assistance on what does this or pricing and things like that. And he's the one that got me into glass. Tim over the years, his older videos that he had, because it's been 2 years since he's created one, if you go back and look at his videos, even his auctions, you will see the type of glass he comes across and how he just spits out information about it. Very knowledgeable. And that's who I give credit to all the time. Every time I bring up glass and I start getting into it, I bring up Tim over the years. And such an amazing guy. He brought up some mental struggles, which is clearly what I'm going through and have been through since the military. But he is amazing. Tim, over the years, I think I may have his link still inside here. This is the Tim. This is his exact link to the video that he just put out. But I'm telling you, you should go look at his previous videos of what he has. They are worth looking at. They're not things that are going to go out of date. Very just beautiful glass pieces and other items, but mainly glass is what caught my attention. But he's very knowledgeable in sports. He does have a podcast with his friend who talk about sports, and that's really good and entertaining. That's one thing I have not been able to keep up with. But this year, I told Karla, my wife, I was like, "Babe, I want to keep up with sports, football, and I want to be in the mix of stuff. I love football. I love going to football games, and got to catch high school game back home. They our home team, Charlotte Trojans, ended up losing, but it was a great game. And regardless, I got to see a lot of family and friends and hang around, especially at the game because that's where the whole town went to. Very small population, but a growing population, which was nice to see back home. I am from a small town, farm town, ranch hand. roustabouts, like just hardworking people, and I get a lot of that from my relatives and friends back home. Kathy, good to see you, but going to bed ready. Grandson, bye all. Well, take it easy, Angie. Kathy, I mean, it was great seeing you here, even for a moment. We have Dawn Morning, a new member. Ladies, can I highlight this here? I don't remember. I've been following Dawn for a while on Whatnot, and good to see her here on. Has really good items, very knowledgeable. Good luck with your classes, Dawn. You were telling me about them while I was in Texas. I was able to jump in on her Whatnot, and that was pretty interesting. She was going for classes, and I forget what, but it's pretty fancy. I think it's she's also showing off her gems, some gemstones, and I love jewelry. This is where I'm going with this. I love jewelry. I love stones. I love seeing all these pretty little things. I just don't know the colors of them, so that makes it difficult for me. But I ended up getting something I talked about with Carrie, the Desert Mermaid, that I have right here. So this has been helping me rather than using a magnifying glass. I have this right here. So there's different versions of this, more upgraded ones, but it's pretty much like a lens. And I think I'm hitting a button. So it's going to light up. I don't know if you could see it. And then whatever is underneath, what's in front of me. So whatever's underneath, you could zoom in or out. It's hard to it's hard to see because I can't slide it. And you could adjust it up and down, but it's really good to see the little maker's marks. And that I'm gonna have to share a link on that, what the exact thing, if anybody is interested. But this has helped a lot. The battery works really good. I've used it for like 2 weeks until I've had to recharge the battery. It's USB rechargeable. Texas lady, hello, hello, Angie Ferguson, Bob Bazar. I hope you are doing well, and your mom. I hope she's doing well. Mischievous Mariposa. Mariposa is butterfly in Spanish. Hi, all. Blessings from Tejas. I was just in Texas for a week. We went. I'm talking pretty fast because I'm kind of nervous, but we went to Texas, south of San Antonio, Charlotte, but we went to San Antonio at least 3 times, and we ate at this place. I'm going to tell you right now, and this place is amazing. My niece, we took her out to eat, and we took her thrifting too. So I do have a video coming up, which was really fun. She's 11 years old. I'm 5'8", but she ended up coming up to my ear. She's very tall for her age, at least to me. For my relatives that are shorty shorts. Where is my niece's number? Mariah. It's called Sichuan House. Really good place to go to. It's like Thai food, and then there was another place we went to. Was it Dia Clara? I'm gonna look that up. Dia Clara? No, I have a video about it. Hold on, folks. This place, they brought Louisiana to Texas, and this place is highly recommended. If I could find it, I have some video that I was recording that I'm gonna put together soon from yesterday and today. I just been a little in my head a bit much, but I'm getting better. What is it called? Savory Palms. No, that's not it. Yeah, it is. The Savory PSALMS of Ida Clade. Let me see. Let me write this in here. So if you're in Texas, in San Antonio more specifically, Savory, I want to say spasms. I just can't say the word right now. But it's not spasms. What is that? I declare. This place, chef kiss on everything. The grits were amazing. I've been to Nolans for about a week. How long did we go? About a week or two. We went there, I think 2 years ago or a year ago, and the place was amazing. And when we ate there, I didn't know it was gonna be like a New Orleans or Louisiana type theme, and it was pretty nice. It was amazing. The Deltuckians, thank you. Junk Monkey, what's up, Rob? Mary Lizette, hello. Where's Lizette? Pronounce sounds. See, I can't even pronounce that, and it's okay now to be good. all the time. It's okay to have people that know what you're talking about and go along with it. Um, did Bob say something back? As I'm trying to scroll up, it's scrolling back down. Did you know they got glasses for color blindness? Cynthia, I do. And at first it wasn't that I was so much against it. I'm just like I got to this age to where when I really wanted to see colors, I wanted it more as a career. And now it's like there's no career that I'm going for. I'm doing what like I found my calling in reselling and I love it. It's more than a passion. Like this is my lifestyle and this is what I live for. But speaking back about Dawn, that really hit a point to where I was talking to her in her chat or whatnot live. And that is what you want to look for, I believe, Dawn Morning. Um, let me see if I could find it. I highly recommend looking at hers. Let me on here. I have too much windows open. Already lost my place. But I do recommend checking out her channel. Very, very good. She's usually, I think, in cats too. We'll bump in each other in cats and other people's places and whatnot. Who is not on whatnot inside here? That I think would be an easier question than who is, but I would love to know who is also on here as well. Who is also on whatnot. And so oh wow. Okay. So I had to see something, my link to grab it for you all. If you have not join on Whatnot yet, you could get $15 using the link I just posted towards your purchases, and then I get a little cut off of that too. It's an affiliate link. Majority of people have them. Some people have $10 is what I started out for, and I will tell you if you are um, wanting to bump that up to $15, go to this right here. If you are a reseller, let me look it up for you to make it easier. Whatnot. Ambassador program. I've been hearing also a lot about individuals saying that after a year or two, they're now um, getting accepted into whatnot, and it's kind of crazy. After this long of a year or two, I think it's because they finally got all, I guess, the bigger names. I'm not a bigger name. I've been on whatnot for I think 2 years now. Yeah, a little over 2 years. I should have kicked off, speaking of Tim over the years and Chris, Cernot connections. I should have jumped on when they were talking about it. And they kept recommending it. And this is one thing I will tell you folks. Another app, Clapper is one that Lizette, where is she at? So I could highlight. It's funny how I could remember all of these little things, but not remember to take out the trash on time until it's like the morning of, and I wake up in a panic and I run downstairs with in my tarantarans, hoping no neighbors are outside to take a sneak peek of me and get the trash out and then make it inside and fall back asleep. So Lizette was the one telling me about this app called Clapper. I think this was more when it was TikTok was being threatened to go down again or being taken down. I don't think it's going to happen. It's too big. And like anything, I think people want a little their hands in a cookie jar. So I don't think TikTok's ever going down. But there was an app, Lizette mentioned to me, Clapper. I ended up getting it. And I go on there. I just don't post anything. I hardly post anything on TikTok. And I used to do quite a bit of shorts here on YouTube. But one thing I would like to ask you is what do you think about all the little shorts on YouTube? Do you like seeing as much shorts like the alerts pop up? Does it bother you? Does it not? Because I get complaints, not a lot, but sometimes like a complaint could hit me a lot harder because it's like, man, I wish I could figure some things out for you, for myself to not let it bother people. But it's kind of cool to have these shorts and they do help growth in the channel. But one thing with shorts I will tell you for myself, um I don't I personally don't like having too much shorts out to where I get a crowd of people who want to follow maybe just shorts and not long form content. So I try to make my shorts be in a way that I have it posted in there with some wordings to go and see the full video for the rest of what they saw a glimpse of. And I do that because I don't want people thinking it's just a short content video. I want my long form to balance out with my short form content, like the shorts. But it's hard. You never really know what works or not. So I try not to give too much to shorts compared to what has been more than a bread and butter when it comes to getting more out of it. And it's the long form. And when I have short content, I hear quite a bit of people comments get back to me and say they want longer videos. And the thing is, with longer videos, it takes hours at times, unless it's just one of those perfect days that you edit it correctly and you don't have to do any voiceovers. And unfortunately, there's a lot of thrift stores here in Vegas that the music is very loud. So you have to take the edits down. And this is, think about this, for every little clip that the music is on there, you got to turn it down, and then you got to voice over it, and then you got to sing, get it to where it matches for you and it sets correctly. So it's kind of tough at times, but it's not hard. It's just, if only it was easier. And I think eventually when I grow big enough for it to become easier for me, I will be investing in an employee and do it the right way. Something that works for them and see where their goals are towards. Hopefully it's within this realm of what I'm doing, to where they could carry something forward for them and it not be just out of what they have plans or set or goals to do. I think that's very important, especially for younger people, because I wish for me when I was younger that I had more of guidance of people saying like, "Hey, I want to hire you, but you really need to do this instead, or you need to focus on this and do that," and have more, like I said, guidance and things. Because it's really tough when you're a kid. And where I come from, it was tough love. It was more of, you just go work. Okay, well, how do I work? Well, I've been doing it every day in front of you. Why don't you know how to work? It's like, I see you doing stuff, but I don't know what the purpose is or reason. And there's questions behind stuff. So I'm looking forward to one day be a parent. I want to have a little Sunny Las Vegases or little Carlos running around, and just guide them in whatever they want to do and seeing how good I'll do it. Easier said than done, like people say, but I look forward to it with a smile. Um, Paula, I have a $15 credit. I haven't gone into anyone's whatnot yet. Well, don't invest in something, like purchase something, unless you really love it or you like it or it's for somebody else. I recently got hooked up with Whatnot. I have a Whatnot ambassador rep, I guess, since I am an ambassador right now. If I don't meet the quota, then I lose that. But she hooked me up with $100 credit. And what I ended up doing was going to people that I was following when I was in Texas and purchasing things from them, to have a little unboxing. It's not gonna be pushed any more than how I'm saying it now. Whatnot, you want $15? Pinji got $15. She hasn't uses it. I have like 15 people that haven't used theirs yet, and it's okay. It's, you do it when you're ready. And it's as simple as that. It's not going to be pushed on. There's no call to action or anything. But when I say use links, I say uh, add to this. I say, you don't have to go through the link of me, through my link. If you know somebody who's just starting that may want the support or need the support more than me, if you feel that way, go and support them. Go support somebody you feel that's going to benefit from them. We could all use support, but I honestly feel there's other people always that are going to need more than me. Because I've come a long way and I'm really proud where I'm at. So I'm not that way like how I used to be my younger years, where it's like, no, can you please just support me? I need it. Now I'm not in that place. I would love it, but it's not needed. There's a big difference in my livelihood now. Finally, or is that who said that? Karen Webb, Karen with two R's. I think you're like the fourth Karen, but the only one with two R's. Karen, within my channel, I guess. But write down how many names of people you follow weekly here on YouTube. And if they're on another channel like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, who are your favorite people you like to go to and why? It could be a long paragraph, however much character words YouTube lets you do it, I'd really like to know. And I think that's a good way too for other people to see new names. And if they're interested, maybe they could follow them too. Simply like I do when somebody mentions something, I look up the names, and if I could find it, I try to go for it, and follow them and see what they're about and see if they vibe with if I vibe with what they're doing and I support them as well. I have a custom yes, I clicked that. I have a custom jewelry show tomorrow night on Whatnot. Um the tuck-ins. Let me move the screen over a little bit because my camera's in the way. My DSLR camera, a lot better than my webcam camera. I can imagine how time consuming editing would be. Long videos. I personally love longer videos, and that person will also play all on a playlist and them even run them in the background. You are too awesome. And I'm glad you brought that up because there's some things that people aren't aware of. And have any of y'all ever heard of playlist? You could create your own playlist. You could go to all your favorite people. I usually use them mostly when, say, if Mikey Bags of Money has a video, right, and I'm busy, but I'm able to catch at least like a few minutes of it, or if something comes up where my wife says, "Hey, we need to go run and do this," I hit save and I add it to my playlist. Or if there's videos I don't want anybody to see, that doesn't really pertain to maybe the channel, as in reselling, entrepreneurship, good vibe content, like myself, proud to say, it's just something totally different, like artsy stuff. I will save that in a private playlist to where only I could see it. And then once I watch it and give it a thumbs up and support it, I then unclick it off from my playlist. But that's how I use the playlist. But you could create a playlist however you want, create a handful of them. If you're working and you know you don't want to sit down and listen to things, it's good to have a playlist if that's what you want to listen to. When it's, say, Netflix for myself, I end up saying I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just gonna hear, and that's gonna be it. But I can't help but come and sit down and watch the actual show. It's a lot different for entertainment that way. This is more of when reselling is teaching you something or you're learning something. I'm a type of person. I get to touch and feel everything, and unfortunately, I can't do that on here. But looking, hearing, seeing, that helps me just soak it in, and it just sticks there a lot better. Um, Dan is going to sleep. Is that what's going on? Dan, thank you for coming through, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Hope the weather is not too bad over there. The weather, speaking of that, it was crazy here in Vegas while I was away. I haven't not driven east side or south side. And those are rain was one of the big things that when we were looking for our home, it happened to be raining during that time. It was more like I think it was more around this time. Um, so we went to one of the houses more towards Enterprise, which is South Vegas, uh, from me, and there was a road flooded, and it wasn't even bad rain. It was a light rain, but it was like a pocket where everything just ran down to, and that was the houses that they were trying to have us look into if we're interested. And I asked. That's when I learned about HOA. We ended up finding a house higher up elevation northwest area, and that's one of the biggest things I was looking at. And also ended up getting some flood insurance, and not just regular flood rain insurance. I ended up getting some insurance if my neighbor's pipes bust and water damages comes over due to their water lines bust or something, that's covered too. So I think it's really important, and it's not that much extra either. Speaking of insurance, I will tell you, and I know this is like back and forth and everything, but that's the way I roll. I will tell you, with insurance, have all your receipts. The camera that I'm using right now was one that was purchased after our place getting broken into when we first moved to Vegas, and insurance will say how much items you have, electronics. So as he questions more of a general cost for everything, and say, hey, you got $30,000 in your apartment. This is what we're going to insure it for. And when our place got broken into, all of my high value item stuff that had me in business was taken. It was stolen. And when I hit up their insurance, I thought it was going to be easy peasy. And they said, well, do you have receipts? And I said, well, it was on the computer that was stolen. And they're like, you didn't send it to yourself? And I'm like, well, you didn't tell me to do that. And this was all new to me. I've never had much until getting out the military and creating a life with me and my wife. So that's when I started actually having belongings and valuables, which were valuable to me because It wasn't just a pillow, a bed, a curtain. Here's your living quarters, and you get up and go every day and you come back. This was entirely different, a new life for me. So I learned right there and then I need receipts. And just like as resellers, you need receipts for stuff. Same thing for your home. You got to have receipts for what you're insured on. Email it to yourself. If there's any programs out there that people have had the same situation that could help you, I would say put it in the comments and say, this is what's happened. This is what's helped me. And if you need more information, maybe you share an email with them to say, like, I could share with you more. I like information like this because there are things that aren't always said. And it's like, I wish I would have heard that or knew about it. Because when we moved in, it was less than 24 hours. And when I say I wish people would have just told me about this, when we moved in, it was less than 24 hours. We left the following morning, early in the morning, less than an hour, came back, place broken into. The maintenance guy came to fix the door after like 4 hours. And he said, "Did you ever put your alarm?" I said, "What alarm?" He looked over to the left of the door opening, and there was this little box, this little plastic thing on the wall, and he flips it up and there's like, "Oh, you're supposed to set the alarm here and this is how you set it." It's like they didn't tell me this. Like maybe that would have helped, maybe it would have startled them like, "Oh, we got to go." And that was hard. And that's kind of what got me back into reselling, or got me into reselling after working for a company. I was like, maybe this reselling could help me buy back everything that I lost. And it did. And then when I got there, I was like, do I really want to go back to having a clothing brand? This is doing a lot better. And it was really, really good. Did he ask for the address? What did I miss? I'm sorry, folks. I'm like all over the place, but I'm feeling comfortable again. Hello, Lynn Glenn. Good to see you live. Bless your heart and bless you all as well. Who do we got up in here? What happened on this? We got Nicole. I flipped that. Joe and Nicole, they're going to be at the Boss Reseller Remix, and so will I. I believe they're going to have. I got to get you this right now. I got to get you their channel because I am proud to say that I would say, I'm going to say we're friends. If they say we're not, I'm going to stick to what I'm saying. And we are friends. I got to meet them at the Boss Reseller Remix. Um, and we as in myself and Mikey Bags of Money were their first contestants on their I'd Flip That show. It was a lot of fun. It was rigged. I didn't win, but it is what it is. And they have continued to do it. And I like the way Katie and Vicky have been changing things, who are I would say the founders, the creators of the Boss Reseller Remix. They bring a lot of people together. They do a lot of work. And that reminds me of something right now, too, that I need to do next week or when I get back from Utah. I'm going to Utah tomorrow. And then when I come back after that, maybe this week or early next week, I'm going to do some donations to the Blind Center. And there's a cause for it. And that would be, when I bring that up, that would be a call to action if people are, able to here in Las Vegas. And I'll have more information about that. But Joe and Nicole, they are amazing people, really friendly, very approachable, and they will be there. And I can't wait to see how that's gonna be there. So, Joe and Nicole, if you need any assistance at the Boss Reseller Remix, if you need some recordings, some stuff, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help and assist you just to make it a lot easier. I'm going to say don't get nervous because I'm hoping you do get nervous and I get to capture those little butterflies. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Lissa. Hi, Lissa. I know I saw you earlier. Just seen so much comments and stuff going through, but welcome. Bob is going to sleep. Buenos noches, my friend. Always good to see you. J Ride Flips. J Ride Flips. Who do y'all follow J Ride Flips on TikTok? If you follow reselling, not only on TikTok, but obviously here on YouTube, he goes live quite often. I've been enjoying his content. They are more business. Me, I'm more of like feelings. And I like his stuff on TikTok. I swear I see like 3 of his videos and then one of somebody else. and then 3 of somebody else's videos, and then 3 of his. Like, there's a lot of content that he pushes out, and it's really good. It's straightforward, clear, crisp, and things that I'm working on as well. Um, John is like that too, and he is here in Vegas. I'm gonna have to meet up with him eventually, because I want to, not eventually. Like, oh, I don't want to. Like, I want to meet up with John. Really good guy. Him and his wife Jenna. Um, I think I'll be on their show eventually too. I gave him my number. We'll see how that works out. But I like his show. Really good. I like the way he does business. More of the business side, and that's one thing I want to get better at. But I got some cleaning out to do. And once I clear out my space here at my house, I want to get into a podcast. And it's going to be a fun podcast, some information, reseller news, highlighting comments, good, bad, ugly, in between. Not so much of calling out people. I'll be blocking names of comments and things like people see it for themselves. More of like, ooh, like there's entertainment news. Well, this would be the entertainment reseller news. I just haven't come up with a name for it, but I hope that it works out. I think humor and some drama goes well. Drama, unfortunately, carries a lot further than positive stuff, but maybe we could balance that out together. Suede Fringe, everything is going good. I am back in Las Vegas. I'm doing well. J Ride was on earlier YouTube tonight. I did see him on earlier, and that was when I was going to the gym. I was in there for a while. Um, he gets quite a bit of people that go in there, and this is what I'll tell you, folks. When you go inside the chat and you support people and you enjoy them, hit the thumbs up button. There's quite a bit of people that I follow, and they have really good crowds come in, as I am very blessed to have here 70 something people, up to 85, and sometimes even like 300. They come in whenever they have the chance or they see the alerts. And I would say hit the thumbs up button. To me, it helps. Supposedly it helps the algorithm. And if I believe it, then it has to be true. Jennifer, hey, 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 Las Vegas's very own. I have not seen you in a while, and I've been thinking about you lately. To tell you the truth, I was like, where has she been? I have not seen her on Instagram. I could be missing you. I don't know why, but usually I would see a lot more information from you come out. But things happen, and I hope things are doing well for yourself. Say what? What did I miss? Lots of fun faces in the chat. Lots of familiar faces in the chat. Yeah. A lot of these names here in this chat, particularly, very few of them are new to me, but it's nice to see familiar names be and run into people when going to events. Anybody who are out there are going to the Boss Reseller Remix. Um, Yeah. Who are going to the Boss Reseller Remix? Lots of change. Oh, did I click it? Jay Wright said the Sunny Saturday Seller update. Um, Jay, I was thinking something kind of similar along that. More of like a morning. I'm thinking it might be one where it's like a morning news. There's different times that the news pop up, like 6 in the morning, 9 a.m., and then it'll be like 4 or noon. Like there's these different time slots. So I'm trying to think of one that's gonna be in the morning. So maybe it'll be something pointing out towards the morning. Um, Maybe a Saturday, but depending how well and smooth it goes out, I would like it to be at least twice a week. With it being like some type of news and information and highlight something, just bam, 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 throwing information at you. Maybe I could get people I could talk to and just have like uh, a question asked, maybe a couple of questions, not a real big talk through, but something just to have in a video that I think people could take from, laugh or learn from. That's just part of what I'm thinking about. I really need to write this down. I did reach out to Ray, the Nashville Flipper. I asked him what he does to do um his podcast, and this is another person I'm going to ask you right here. My primo, my cousin, Luis. He is going to be coming to the Boss Reseller Remix, from what he told me, and maybe even his wife. So we'll see how that goes. Where and when at that event? Um, Ladies and gents, native Hawaiian pickers. I don't know if I told you. If I said this before, I'm going to say it again. I got to meet them when I went to Big Island. Jeff and Sherry, amazing people. They took us out to breakfast, and it was pretty cool because as we are walking in, the beach side is on the right side, restaurants on the left, and getting to meet Jeff there. And Sherry, Jeff was like, "Yeah, I knew he resells. They have a channel, a really good channel, that I follow, and also Instagram. They're very active on Instagram as well." So Jeff goes and he's like, "You see that wagon in the back? That like wood straw wagon?" He was like, "I sold that to him," and I was like, "How freaking awesome is that? Like, you're going to a restaurant, and there's something that fellow resellers sold the restaurant." And it's things I've been looking at too, like that, where I see more of like restaurant type pieces to where I may get or may not get and see if these restaurants would be interested. But thinking about it, because I'm limited on space and trying to clear up my stuff, I think my best thing, and maybe this will work for you, is if you come across items like that, big items, small items, start reaching out to people that you know are having that stuff available or looking for stuff, and ask restaurants or consignment stores and say, "Hey, what do you need? What can I sell you rather than me selling? I want to make profits and move on." So I'm going to start reaching out to restaurants too, and see what they have and ask them, and see what I could do for them. And even if it's not me finding something and making a profit, maybe I'll run into, or maybe I know somebody that runs into the same things and pass on that um info as well. It's, I guess, is all part of networking. Best way to put it. My daughter is in Maui. They're begging people to go to the good side so they can help other side keep coming. Whew. I was talking about this the last time I went live about Maui, and I was saying, this is just the beginning. uh, you may not know. I will repeat myself. I said, when something like this happens anywhere, something this devastating, something this big, and it not only hits the news, they're going to start investigating every little thing and person, every breakdown. And soon enough, it's not like an "I told you so." It's just seeing this in the military when things happen, working in the Wynn Casino when incidents happen, being security, you have to write accidental reports. And when it gets big like that, everything is cut down, minute, acute, like every little thing, who you are, what you are, your responsibilities, what's your background, what credentials do you have. And when you're lying about it, or even if you're telling the truth, like, you got to have that stuff prepared. And when there's lives involved, there's no winging anything. It's preparing for those what ifs. Those what ifs in those situations, for those responsibilities that people carry, those are very important for people that are, say, like me. I'm a reseller and I'm talking about, or if I was to talk about, what if there was a car crash or what if there was a fire? It's more of one on one with the other person's party. But when it's towns, cities, communities like that, it's even bigger. That's why laws end up being taken to place, new policies being made, and those are things I used to work on as well in the military. I used to run a training room and have to make policies, um, run schedules for every little person, putting them in school and college, taking them out of college, putting them in classes for all types of stuff. Like, I did it all. So for me, I was like, I know what's going to happen, and most people don't, when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm still praying for them. There's a lot of drama going on, a lot of bickering. For me personally, that some things don't need to be talked about. Um, because it's just making people angry and not focusing on actually helping the people, rather than finding any and every little thing. But it's out of frustration, and that's one thing. When something happens that's out of your hands, frustration will take the best of you, and you end up losing focus of what you have. But there's a lot of good people out there that are talking for Maui and the community, and always reminding the people at the board not to be on their phone or turning their back when people are talking. That's so disrespectful for things like that, and it's heartbreaking. And I think BJ Penn was the one. I think him more than anybody that I saw was saying, um, "We're your boss. You're not our boss." And I get what he was saying, and they may not take it that way because they're probably going to take it personal and say, "We're not your boss. We tell you what to do. We make decisions for the community." And what BJ Penn was saying, and what I heard from him saying was that you got to work together. We're here to help each other. They live on the same island, and it's just so frustrating when things like that because I don't even want to imagine. But Ella, this Ella or Kim, right now I'm throwing a blank. Um, my camera's in the way. Rebel Junkie. Hello. We got Sitting Kitty. I fitted sheets. Hello. This is the first time here. So true. I've been a nurse for years. They must work together. And it's hard. It's just so much punches back and forth. And I don't think the community deserves any punches. I don't think the community in Maui or any community deserves these punches to where it's um they need to tell them what they're gonna do, show that they're doing it, and do more than show face. They need to get their hands dirty to clean things up. And there's no way of cleaning up what happened because that's always going to be a hard, just, it's not even tainted. Tainted is not the word. It's just a tragic event that these people could have been warned about. And the news doesn't lie. There's big people in the news too, out in Maui, going out there and they're asking these questions, and they're kind of be blocked, and they're kind of answering the questions, but nothing that they say is going to make them feel better. They just need to start working on improving the community, and just let them speak their voice, hear their voice, and just go with it. They don't need the people at the tables telling them what they're how they feel, if y'all understand that. If I made sense. Just be quiet, help them, and that's it. Take the punches, go with it. That's your responsibility. And that's one of the things about responsibility is that a lot of people, as in who I'm thinking about, it may not is not everybody. But a lot of people who I am picturing right now about responsibility is that they don't know how to take responsibility because it's easier to point fingers. And some people just have a bad habit of that. And I've learned that in the military when I was in, is that responsibility, when you're over somebody, it doesn't matter what they do. If you did your best, if they did wrong, you say you're going to fix it. It'll never happen again. And you do your best to make it not happen again, especially for something like that on one of the islands. Here in Vegas, flooding, that was a big thing. And one thing with the communities, I will say, because I used to be fearful for people, what they call the Mo people that live underground, is that, oh my God, it's gonna flood and all these people are gonna die. There's actually a group of people, a large group of people, growing community out here who look out for the homeless and say, hey, there's floods coming. They'll go down there, they'll announce it, they'll spread the word and try to do their best to tell everybody and get them out of there, because that's a hot spot for the floods. And that's one of, like, more of the lower part of the valley where the water floods down to and rushes. And it's pretty scary how water's pretty powerful. Oh, yeah. Wanda, words mean nothing without actions. I would be frustrated, hurt, worried, and scared as as to what's next. Agree. Totally agree. And people could add to that too in their own perspectives. Vegas is our ninth island. I never been to Maui. One thing that crossed my mind about Maui, other than just prayers for them and hopefully hoping for the best for them, is I have friends from Maui, and they were raised in Maui, and at the end of the year we're planning on going there, but because of this I don't know if they are, and if they don't, we're not. So I'm going to reach out to them soon. I just, with things going on, I didn't want to flood the communication and have them not be able to keep up with their actual family back on the island. So I'll be messaging them soon, one or the other, the husband or the wife. We're really good friends with both. Jennifer, random thought. I know you feel me. Mom, dad moved in, so now unlimited Filipino food, home, yum. um, my mother-in-law. Speaking of that, folks, for those who have got to catch, my mother-in-law, she's amazing. She'll be back in October. We have a little cousin new to the family named Elijah, and he is gonna have a birthday in October, and my birthday is in October. Wink, wink. Um, my PO box is in the description down below. Wink, wink. But yeah, I'm really excited. She's gonna be coming back, and she will be making some. I know she's gonna be doing wonders in the kitchen as she always does. So I feel you, Jen. I lost your comment and highlight again. Oh, here it is. Filipino food is the best. We just ate some Filipino food yesterday. It was at Seafood City, which isn't too far from me, and they have it's by Costco off of 215 North Decatur, and they have a little Filipino grocery store, but they also have two bakeries, one to your immediate left as you come in the door, and then a kitchen to your right, where it's kind of like uh, pick your own entrees, your own plates, and then across from that is another baking spot, and it's all really good. I ended up getting some lechon, some chicken adobo, some garlic fried rice, and some longanisa. So I had a pretty good breakfast yesterday, but I need to watch out. That's one of my goals. I was talking about earlier. My post lady said, "COVID did you good," talking about my belly, and that stung really good. But little did you know, I just came from the gym before coming home. So my goal is to get back in shape, like to lose my belly, to get. I'm not really having any pain, which is good. I'm just getting bigger, and I think it's because of meds. So yes, hit that thumbs up. Just don't jam your thumb. So one of my focuses is not just exercising, it's eating better. I used to before. Any of y'all vegans, pescatarians, I think is what it's called. What is your diet like? How has it worked for you? How long have you been on it? What do you recommend? I am looking at going back to a vegan diet, and I did really good when I was at the Win, only because they had a buffet for employees before COVID happened. And I used to always get hummus, pita bread. I would get a ton of veggies and fruit. And I did that for 3 or 4 months, and I dropped a lot of weight. A lot of my inflammation went down, pain in my back went away because I wasn't getting inflamed because of junk food. And it helped out a lot. But then when the Rona came and slapped everybody in the face, it ended up being where they took all the good stuff and just brought like cold stuff, like cold sandwiches. It was just food. It was like the worst of food. It was horrible. There was more bread than there was sandwich, like the sandwich protein in there. So I ended up getting away from it. But if I did it once, I could do it again. Sitting Kitty, vegan whole foods, plant-based 7 years. What? 7 years? That's awesomeness. There are some things I know I need to watch out for. So talking about foods, right? I know for me, for the longest time, I've heard eat your greens. Well, for me, some greens like broccoli actually make me bloat, and I could feel eating too much of it. Like my body doesn't react well to it. I'm not allergic to it or anything, so it's good to keep your own login, a whole diary. My fitness plan, I think, is one that I use. I haven't used it in a while. Did I take it off? I might have taken it off. I have a habit of taking on apps. My my fitness pal. That's what it is. It's a app you could use for free, or you could pay for an update and do other things on it. But it's really good to keep a login of what foods work well with you and what foods react in a way that doesn't make you comfortable. And it's all about comfort for me. No meat, 15 years? What? By chance? That's awesome. Um, I don't want to do no meat entirely, but I will do away from I guess beef, pork. Like I could almost cut it out completely, but I do love chicken. But I do need to change to where I eat better portions, healthier. I guess I just need to be healthier all around. And I used to do really good. What's crazy about that is that I laugh at myself, and that's what I was doing there. Is I used to be a fitness instructor, and nutrition was one of my biggest things, and I just let it get away from me. It's what happens when you get older. You tend to do less, especially reselling. Has been one big thing where I'm not as active, And there's no reason why I shouldn't have been as active. I guess laziness, and I get focused too much on listing and sitting at home and being too comfortable to where I could be comfortable still exercising. I just got to balance things out. And the past 2 days have been really good, just being active and going to the gym, getting my mind off of things, and it's really helpful. This lady right here, Lizette, mi hermana, she's been very active on like fitness and has been for a while, and she keeps me going as well as my wife. Like when I usually see her post, it just so happens to be me and my wife are working out, and my wife is one of the heart like strongest peoples I know and pushes herself so hard. Like, I don't know how she does it. And because she's next to me, there's no way, even though because I started before her and say we're going to do 30 minutes of running, of cardio, and she's just pumping arms and going. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done in 2 minutes. She still got like five because she takes her time to get there, to start her machine. And I always feel like it pushes me more to stop after she stops. So I always end up doing more of an exercise because she encourages me that way without her knowing. Don't tell her I do too much like that. That lifts me up because she'll use it against me. She's just that type of person towards me, not towards everybody else. For me, she is tough love. For everybody else, she's a sweetheart. And I think that's the only way it should be. Keeps me on my toes. Have your good bacteria checked. If you bloat, you may have an imbalance. Sitting kitty. I'm glad you brought that up. There's something I took a screenshot of that I was watching on TikTok that somebody was talking about, and it's to do a check for your body. It's a whole check, and it tells you what your deficiencies are to help you look at what you need to focus on or not. So thank you for reminding me with that because I'm going to call the VA tomorrow and see if they could do it. If not, see how the insurance works with the VA towards that. Um, what do we got here? How do I do this? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I was like, what's start? So I have two panels on my right of my screen, top right corner, there's live and start. And I kept seeing the start go up. I never pressed it until now. Um, we have Dawn. We have a member here, and Callie Luis has been a member for 12 months. Wow, it's been that long. Joe and Nicole, I'd flip that $9.99. And then we have $4.99 with dropping the mic, calling it a night. Good night, everybody. I have something for that. And I do want to make some more things from this. How do I get back to this? Let me hold on. Give me a moment, folks. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. It's under brand. Two super chats. Super chat. We have two of those super chats. Wait, I don't remember what this one is, folks. Ooh, I'm gonna play it because I don't know what it is.
Aw, you shouldn't have. Do it again.
Okay, now I remember. I couldn't remember the thumbnail that's on my end. I need to change the name. Rename. Super chat 2. And then welcome, because we did get a new member. How do we get back to that? We'll do it. Some of these things are confusing. Here we go. Brand.
Round up the team, we got another one.
Yeah. So I made those, folks. I really like making some stuff like that. I love chubby characters, which is why my logo is like a chubby little face and the hair grows as mine does. And speaking of hair, I will be cutting my hair eventually. I fixed so much of my intestinal issues with yogurt and probiotics and lots of fiber. I love fiber in the form of refried beans. I know fruits are the way to go, but I love refried beans. Love them. Um, my mouth is watering right now thinking of them. But probiotics are one thing we've been doing more of too. More of like in our are smoothies. Karla's big on smoothies and getting back into it even more. So when she makes some, she makes me some. But I need to make me one for tonight because one thing I've been having a bad habit of is when I'm hungry, like I feel like I got to eat a meal, and this is where the habit comes from. It's not so much that I eat knowing a portion, I eat with the weight of my stomach. Like I feel like I'm full when I have this certain weight, and like anything else, that tolerance grows and it becomes more and more and more. So I'm learning like can't do that. And there is a Netflix show, folks. Do any of y'all watch Netflix? Because this is a really good. No, that's Instagram. This is a really good show before I let you go that I recommend. If you have Netflix to check this out, it was really intriguing and highlighted a lot of things that were interesting and also very valuable for longevity. Where is it at? Was it on Carla's channel? No, that's not it. Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. Damn. I hate to leave y'all hanging. Oh, here it is. I was like, please don't let them hang that way. It's called Life to 100, A Secrets of the Blue Zones. I recommend if you have Netflix to check that out. If you haven't already, it's a really good show. It talks about people, how long they've been living, and like the things that they do differently from one another compared to the general public that are not in the best of health. And I just think it's really good because we all want each other longer to be here with which each one of us. I Family is important to me, and I feel like the community is just the same. It's equally just as valuable to me, and valuable to have this community for me because it's helped me come so far from where I used to be, especially mentally. Fermented foods. I do love fermented foods. I love kimchi, but there are other things that are fermented as well, that I tend to go to, and I have my palate welcomes it. It's really nice. I could eat a lot of fermented stuff, and it's good on the belly. It's usually never bloat at all, and it also helps with cleaning out too. It's good health bacterias from it. Cute. No. Oh, what? No. What was it? No, no, on the hair. It gives me. Oh, no, on the hair. Thanks for clearing that up, Lessa. So I want to cut it because I guess in a way with things just being hard last week, like when you feel ugly and you have something like hair, like there's just something that's there and you feel like you got to get rid of it to make yourself feel better. But honestly, being here, just talking, spilling my guts as I always do, just rambling on about who knows what, um, has lifted me up and I don't feel like cutting it. I may trim it, but I do want to donate my hair. I got to look into some places. I was suggested one and I said I was going to do it, but I think they have different criterias now for how they want hair, as in all natural, like all black or all one solid color. And I'm going to be 43 years old. So I do have some white hair now. So I'm not sure if that's going to work, but if it does work out, I would definitely donate my hair. But with that, I'm not gonna buzz my hair off, like go bald headed. I don't have that hair shape, and I still have self-conscious issues about, yes, myself, that I still battle. So that's one thing I won't do is just bick my hair all the way down. Oat groats and instant pot are awesome. Oat groats. Oat groats. Oat groats. I need to look that up. Oat groats. And I will ask you folks, for those of you that are in here and have been on these long no meats and vegan and these other things that you have been doing for quite some time, please share your story with me in an email. That's going to help me out a lot to where I get to go look at it, and I'm going to try to bring it into my new way of consuming stuff and see how that works, because I think it's very interesting with what I do as a reseller is that it's not just reselling. I've been working my way towards talking this way, not just on a live, but inside my own videos to where I'm doing stuff and I could bring it in, and it's relevant because 77 plus are going to come and watch this, or are watching this right now, and then later on other people are going to hear it, and then they're going to hear it later in an actual video and know where it's coming from. So it's really good to where it's not just going to be just straight reselling all the time. But I have big plans. I definitely want to grow this channel. And I appreciate everybody that has been making this channel be my own type of successful for it to grow the way that it is. I never thought reselling was going to help change who I am, but it has. And mentally, physically, it has helped make a big difference when all I wanted it for was to just help me pay bills. What it ended up doing was help me do that, but then help me save myself from a lot of things, from just beating myself up mentally with PTSD, anxiety, all this other stuff going on, arthritis, like sciatica, like all this stuff. It's hard, but it's easy when I'm learning how to cope with things and also prevent things from happening, being proactive towards myself and sharing that with you because maybe it helps others, like you are in the comments helping me with how things are that works for you. Like reselling what I sell may not work for you, but you don't know until you try, and you don't know about anything until you hear about it for the first time. And there's so much we can learn from one another. And I think that's what makes this community special. And wherever you go to, communities within communities, to pass these notes on to one another, and hopefully it helps somebody. It definitely has helped me a long, long way. I love refried beans, all kinds of beans. Ooh, I don't like kidney beans are one that I'm like, I don't hate them, but I do love sauerkraut on my hot dogs, but they got to be beef, and that's another thing I've worked on. When is your next show on Whatnot? Good question, folks. I do have a show. I think I want to say the 9th, the 10th. So I have a show on the 10th. I've sold so far in 2 years, I've sold 851 items. I am very proud of that because I started a little over 2 years and then I went away from it. Then I ended up coming back to it. And I got quite a bit of stuff. So a lot of my stuff are gonna be I'm gonna be listing soon. On the 10th, this is I got some shirts. I was gonna list them on eBay, but I think I'm just gonna do it on Whatnot. And Cat the Nurse Flipper and Rod in the panel we're talking about today was selling stuff, say, fast compared to say eBay and other online platforms like it. That sometimes it takes a little longer. But I think starting these shirts off, like if they sell for 20 used, these are brand new. And these are some really good like Halloween t-shirts, or people that like horror stuff. These are shirts that I think should be a fair price to be selling them at $15. And I usually have on Whatnot, I think it's like a flat rate costs because I use flat rate shipping if it works for it. If not, it'll be less price than that. But these are some really cool shirts I came across a year ago, put them out of the money pile. And here's one of them, just some really cool fright rags and old school horror Michael Myers type of movie themed t-shirts. I'll show you these because these are going to be on the Whatnot. This one's really cool. It's the only tie-dye one. A lot of them are going to be almost the same sizes, size large. I was going to list these earlier today. This one's really, really cool. Nothing on the back, but very, very cool t-shirts. And then other shirts that are going to be like starting at $1 single stitch shirts. But I like these shirts. These are all brand new. They're just really cool. I like the graphics. They don't make movie covers like this anymore. This one's really cool. And who doesn't like horror movies? No, really, who doesn't like horror movies? Because there's some people out there that are like, nope, not gonna watch a scary movie. We won't be hair twins anymore. I know, but I do miss my clean cut hairs. My cousin Mandy back home, I had okay. When my grandma passed away last week or the week before, and we laid her down last week, we ended up going to the church hall to where we all eat afterwards. We mourn, in the meal. We introduce. I got to meet my grandpa's sisters. I didn't even know he had sisters, and they're very much alive. Funny story about that. But this lady, as I'm getting up to eat to throw my plate, all I hear is Sonny, and I turn around and she said, and I was like, "Hey, hi." She was like, "You need to cut your hair. It's too long. Cut that crap." And I was like, okay." And she was like, "No, for real, cut your hair." And I was like, "All right." So, second story, we're now at my grandma's house. Going there, we would eat there a few days. Just it just felt right to go to my grandma's, and it felt like she was still there, her spirit's still there. And we're eating, and my cousin Mandy, nope, we went to my aunt Rachel's actually, this time. So she was like, "Sonny, why did you start growing your hair out? You looked really nice when you were clean cut." And I was like, "Save money." And she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, here in Vegas, like I was paying $40 like every week and a half to get haircuts." And it just that was 2 years ago. So imagine that now it's probably more than that. And that's not even including tip. I would always tip as well. So that's really why I stopped cutting my hair. And then it just so happened it came out nice. And then people made it a thing, and it's become my thing. And I like it. I just don't know how to do anything with my hair other than like have it to the back or have it up higher or tie it all up. I do need to cut under it just to have it better presentation, I guess. But I my hair doesn't compare to Lizette's. Lizette's hair is just so loud and beautiful. It's pretty awesome. There's a character, speaking of Netflix a few minutes ago. There's a character whose hair reminds me of Lizette's. Um, and this is another great channel that I'm watching. Series. This is where is it at? Why is every oh yeah. This is it should be the first one. Uh, Survival of the Thickest. Really good TV series. I grew up old school diet. I've never been a sugar person or ever had chips, soda, things. Rarely eat meat. I just freaking things are hard today. I didn't start eating like junk food like that. Um, Nor did I drink coffee. Have y'all been hearing me? Have y'all not been hearing me? It's like the mic was off on this. Have y'all been able to hear me? Have y'all been lip singing to what I've been talking about? So my wife was let me go down here. Is there something? No longer handle horror flicks. Has my mic been how long has my mic been off? Brother Mark. I forget what I was saying. That really threw me off. I saw the mic blinking, like, is that off? What happened? Turned off. I forget what I just said. I'm gonna have to rewind and go back and get back to you next week. Oh, see, I don't know what happened. Maybe my finger just accidentally touched it. Oops. Then I don't have to repeat what I said. No, please cut your hair. Don't cut your hair. Yeah. Wow. Squirrel. Seconds are 10. All right. Yeah, that threw me off. That threw me in a panic right there. Oh, so yeah, I remember what I was talking about. Talking about food. So my wife is the one that got me into coffee. I will admit I was addicted to Diet Cokes and Reese's Pieces, but it would be every now and then. I wasn't really big into sweet stuff, and I was in really good shape. I didn't have a lot of sugars, and those are things that I'm thinking about, like here recently. Excuse me, is the things that I used to not do and how I was in the shape that I was in then is just getting back to it. And I could do away without soda. I've been drinking a lot of hot teas lately for the past a little over a month now, and I love them. Supposedly, when you wake up, supposedly, allegedly, when you wake up and have, say, a hot tea, I like the spicy tea that my wife has. It's more like cinnamon tea almost like I don't know how to describe it. It's not straight cinnamon, but it tastes like cinnamon, and it's supposed to shock your belly, your intestines, and clear it out, like detox it if that's the first thing you have in the morning. So I usually don't have a breakfast anymore. I'll have it more around lunch, and that'll usually be like refried bean tacos. And then today, I had around 7, which is another thing I'm trying to do. Try not to eat after 9, and I'm going to start cutting that down like towards 8. And right now it's 8:24. So I want to start getting into later on in the night, have maybe a smoothie or just some fruit, something healthy and not an actual meal. And I think I'll be okay. I'm not gonna die or anything, but I think those little changes are gonna make a big difference, especially in weight loss. When was packing to go to Texas, I put on some no, when I was packing to go to FlipCon, I bursted out laughing, and my wife said, "What?" And I was like, "I was trying to put on my favorite black jean shorts." And she was like, "Well, what happened?" I was like, "Look." And she looks at my waist and the button popped off. And I was like, "Wow." Like, "Sonny, you need to make some changes. Like, this is bad. It's a size 38, meaning I'm like probably a 40 or 42 now." And it's hard to believe like my waist is this big, but it is. So I'm going to get it back down to at least the 34, which shouldn't take too long if I make these better eating decisions. I think I'll be all right. And very, very soon, I want to look and feel way different. For me, I may not look different to you at the time, but by the time the Boss Reseller remix comes up, October 16th, 17th, 18th, I think those are the days. When you bumped it, it went off. Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought I didn't touch it, but maybe I did. Maybe it slid. Maybe it slid over. Uh, you might shed a few tears. You know, it's I feel like I might shed a few tears if I was when I cut my hair that short. I think I'd like shed some tears. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big softie. I cry. Como está Party? How's it? Andy so made of people was coming out on fire years ago. Just threw down some videos, like blew everybody out the water, and then he just stopped doing them. He just dropped the mic like that. It would be cool if he came back. Maybe he'll do a surprise visit. Maybe I could convince him to come on a live with me sometime, which is something I want to get back to. And yes, turmeric. I do have some turmeric pills, but I want to learn what to put turmeric in as in my meals. I think you could put them in smoothies. I'm pretty sure I've had some turmeric shots or something like that. So I need to get the powder, the actual powder. Lissa said vanilla chai latte spice tea. That sounds good. Ooh, so I've had more of them, chai lattes, and also uh, what's the other one? It's a green one. Is it chai or is it? Maybe that one's it. My mother-in-law always orders this tea. When she's here, I always remember it because I get her it regardless of what time of the day it is. I always get it for her. She always likes it. I don't think it's chai. It might be chai. Intermittent fasting is great weight loss. At least for me, it is. I've kind of been doing that off and on. I've been trying to go past 12 hours. I just end up forgetting that I'm at like this certain point. And there's this person I've been following, and y'all may have heard about her. She's always on my alerts. She's always popping up. So she puts out content quite a bit. And it just so happens now I can't see, I don't see her content. Oh, Dr. Mindy Pels. So I've been just getting some information off of her content that she lives and swears by. So I was like, people say good things about her, so I figured I'd check it out. One thing I need to do more regularly as I stretch first thing in the morning, and that is very good. Mobility is the key to a lot of things. I need to eat early as well. I've been eating dinner around 8:30 to 9. And that's usually me. That's usually like around 10, sometimes 11, 12. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have like a set schedule, but my wife lately has been bigger on like, hey, let's do this and let's do this. But she knows the way my brain works. I get overwhelmed with stuff if I feel like I'm being bossed around too much. So she would say, okay, we'll do this. And then later on, like she'll do it without telling me. And I'm like, okay, well, she's doing it. This is right. And if I'm hungry later, I'll just drink water. Like, again, I'm not gonna die. There's nothing that's causing me where I need to actually eat. I think a lot of times I think it's just boredom and just the taste of things like, ooh, that sounds good. let me get a taste. And then that taste ends up being like a whole bag of chips where I need to tell myself one thing I tell myself when I eat chips, because I could kill some chips. When I start grabbing two at a time, that's my sign of like just stop eating already. You're not eating to eat anymore. You're just eating just to just feel that weight in your belly to say that you ate something. And that's the way I'm coping with it and learning from it. These little triggers are signs. Trader Joe's 21 seasoning salute is an excellent way for flavor. Most any plants. I'm gonna put that down. Trader Joe's 21, 30, 21. And we got a Trader Joe's not too far from me. Men lose weight faster than women. You'll do great once you set your mind to it. I think so. Thank you, Lizette. But I didn't know that. I didn't know men lose weight faster. I haven't had eggs for at least a couple of years. That's one thing I know my wife cannot do without. She loves eggs. I love eggs, but I think if there was just one time or one thing that I needed from eggs, I think it would have to be every once in a blue moon would be deviled eggs. I do love me some deviled eggs. Adding turmeric and a teeny amounts of all sorts of stuff does amazing things for inflammation. It does okay in tea. You need black pepper to make turmeric to work properly. Oh, see, nailed it, Lizette. It is matcha. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, man, I know what it is. I just can't say it right now. Yeah, matcha is the one I usually get, and it usually helps too. Because creamers and stuff, I do notice I blow from them. So you know what? Maybe we should have a conversation about food again. We did have uh the Future Hotties group a while back, where a group of us resellers were encouraging others to lose weight, and some did and did really, really good. And then I think I'm probably one that has gained more weight than what I started off with. I was at like I got down to 213 and I was doing really good. And then I just stopped. I guess laziness. And I tried to get back to it. I was able to drop back down to 215. And then I went up to 220, came back down, up, down. And then now, um, with the meds being a higher dosage, like it's a lot harder. But that's only because I've been lazy. So I've been doing it to myself. So I shouldn't say harder. I've been negligent of what I needed to do, just eating the right portions. Hi, my grandmother passed away many years ago. However, I recently came across two large vintage owl sculptures at different times that she may use as doorsteps. My condolences, first of all, Gem Flipper. If you need some information on it, send me some photos. And if not, there are some really good pages on Facebook. I would recommend this to everybody. Um, I have a fan page, it's not that big to get the information you need. But I would love to help. If I can, send me some photos if you need some information or need some assistance on it. I'll be more than happy to help. But there are a lot of Facebook fan pages out there that people jump to at giving their advice on. And maybe that's one thing. Those are some of the things when I create a podcast, I want to talk more of. Say questions like this that make me talk about other pages. I think that'll be really good to highlight, like some news stuff, news information to pass on that isn't just so much YouTube is information out there that could assist others in doing that. So, yeah, email me, SonnyLasVegas 702 at gmail.com. All my information, I believe, is under my description of each and every one of my videos. Um, City Kitty, you can find in most stores ingredients: chili peppers, sea salt, citric acid, and lime. Hmm. See, a lot of good information out here. Information that I could be picking your brains out more than me talking on things like this. Like, ooh, I love tahine. I got me some tahine. But I was trying to find not tahine, but tahini. For hummus, I was trying to find some tahini. I couldn't find it at Winkle's, so I'm gonna go maybe another grocery store tomorrow. For some reason, I just wasn't feeling like going to Walmart. Correcto mundo. I make pickled beet eggs. Ooh. Always. They're constant in the fridge to grab along with beets. You either love them or hate them. I like beets, but only so much. I can't just keep gobbling them down. But like I said earlier, I do love me some deviled eggs. And Karla ended up buying something off of Amazon that like hard boils your eggs or like steam boils them. And it's very easy from what she showed me. And you could make them to where the inside is yolky and just different ways. And I was like, ooh, that might be easier. A lot less cleaning. Well, no, not cleaning because it has like 3 or 4 parts you would want to clean off afterwards, even though it's just steamed. We are here to support you. We're here to support each other, my friend. Don't really need tahini. You don't? Well, I just saw an ingredient on there. But I'll try it. Some with and without. I use garbanzo beans with lemon juice and lots of garlic for hummus. I love garlic. I do love me some garlic. George Foreman. Oh, he has a channel out on Las Vegas. I am doing well though, George. The easy and fermented aspect is great. I do extra cloves and bay leaves for the wow. For the wow. All right. You started to make me hungry, folks. I do appreciate every single one of you stopping by. I did have some topics I want to talk about. I may change the title to this. But a lot of information when I talk about things and comments that are brought up that have me talk about other subjects really is really helping me, whether you know it or not, which I'm telling you now, helps me on what I'm trying to figure out with things that I have planned on doing, like my podcast. It won't be say me talking like here about my I guess life, and I'm an open book almost, but it'll be better formatted to where it's going to be a podcast news like hub of information to where I get to hopefully have people be involved in it. Uh and I think it'll be good, but I don't want it just being about myself. I want it highlighting the community, highlighting fun stuff, some drama, not the hard type of drama, not drama I've gone through myself, but drama as in like people stealing stuff or boohoo's on eBay and this is what happened and this there's things that are solved or things that are questionable or something you may be able to answer yourself. Like there's all kinds of stuff that you could uh work with this on that I want to bring out in the future. But until I get this stuff, I'm gonna be little behind the scenes working on it, pulling it together to make it just something a little different than what you see and have been seeing for myself. Although I think you enjoy me as much as you've helped me enjoy myself with how I am. I really like that I'm not perfect. That was one of my struggles in the beginning, that I used to feel like I had to be polished and I couldn't do it. It may appear that way. And then after a while, I was like, it's okay to mess up. It's okay to be down. It's okay to share yourself, but don't let people hang in this negative bubble to where it brings them down, because I'm heavy on feelings to where what happens to me, like it affects me for days. And that's the last thing I want with people that see my content as to feel that way. I want people to hear something that may be like, oh, and then something soon after that I say or do that helps me get over that hurdle that I hope helps other people do the same. Because I'm going through it, but I've learned things from so much others that it's helped me get over things and get through things. And I think that's really, really wanted, that people don't ask for. So that's just my thoughts, and that's what I do best is just share me. And I've learned to love myself by being myself because of you all, of many of you, even the haters. It just teaches you like, oh, okay, well, maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe there's something I need to work on that I'm not seeing, because I'm not perfect and I'm not trying to be. So I learn from everybody, but I don't have haters. I don't have any more that I know of. I think I blocked all of them. Thanks for hanging out, Sonny. Always love to listen, and brightness you share. Thank you. Good night as well. Maybe buy some eggs soon. We have some eggs. We need to buy some more. Perfection is boring. There's beauty and imperfection. Absolutely. Yes, very, very true. Ladies and gents, you have a wonderful night. I may be back on Friday. We'll see. I will have a live with Katie and Vicky coming up soon. We're going to be talking, I want you to know more about Katie and Vicky because I don't think people realize who these two amazing women are. And, they're really important to me and to the community. They do so much good, and I try to connect the dots with talking to people of who they are, what they do in the community, because you may be doing the same thing, and I want to highlight people like yourself and share you with others because that would be selfish not to learn from one another. So they'll be on maybe next week. We'll see. We had to reschedule because I was out in Texas. But thank you all for coming through. I appreciate every single one of you that have stopped by, who are here, and who are going to come back later and catch up on what they missed, which is a lot of squirrel. I digress. All right, folks. You have a good night. Take it easy. And yeah, I'll be in Utah tomorrow. Adios.